Hey beautiful people, welcome back to Untitled Consult TV. I'm Chinwe. I have a new book out. It's called Be Your Own Accountant. When you buy the book, send us an email. You get a free template to help you do your account. When you input your figures, it does the calculations automatically for you, and it's easy to understand because the book explains everything in the simplest form. It's not a storybook, it's a handbook that you flip through every other day and say, okay, what do I do with this money? This is where I put it. And you go to your template and you put it there and it does your calculation for you. So it's very easy. Buy the book. So what I'm going to be discussing with you in this video are those simple things you need to develop your idea into a product or service you can sell. I know a lot of you out there would like to know the particular business you can start, because I've gotten that question over and over again, and I've come to understand that it's not really about the idea. I mean, people have ideas day in, day out, but it's really about what to do with that idea when it comes. I decided to make this video so that I can sort of guide you through that process. One thing I've noticed that we don't do so much in this part of the world is planning, and it was among the first things I learned when I got to the UK for my master's. I remember during our class projects then, when they give us an assignment, we'll all come together, and my classmates, they will spend so much time in dissecting the question, just asking random questions that can give us an underlying meaning to that assignment. At first I was like, they give us assignment to do and these people are still here. But it was after some time that I got the drill. Like, they could give us 7 days to do an assignment and we'll spend 4 days just discussing about the assignment and the other 3 days to write it. It opened my eyes to what planning was really about, because I noticed that once we're done with that, writing it was very easy, because it makes your work a lot easier when you're prepared. You're not reacting to anything. All you're doing is just responding. You know what's come up, you know how it will come up, and you prepare yourself to respond to it in the most appropriate way. I'm saying all this because you need to develop the discipline and the patience to plan something out, especially when it means so much to you. Like, planning, it cannot be overemphasized. Like, you really need to plan yourself well. That being said, let's get right into it. Generating the idea is like the first step to starting your business. Like, once you have the idea, at least you've done one part. Ideas come to us in different ways. It could be from a problem you faced and you looked for a solution and there was no solution, and you thought to yourself, if I'm going through this, I wonder how many people that are going through it as well. And if I could find a solution that suits me, imagine the effect that solution could have on others. And the idea starts taking shape in your head. And in that situation, you probably have like a million ways you can solve that problem. I advise you, when you get in that zone, just start writing everything down. All the ideas you're getting, how you think you can solve the problem, just start writing it down. After writing down all the ideas you have, the next thing to do is start analyzing each one of them. You know that all of them have the possibility of solving this problem, but which one is the best solution? That's what you do. You screen out the best idea and you bring it aside. When you select your best possible solution, the next thing to do is to test it. And you test it by answering important questions like, will people understand what it's about? Like, okay, I know, I get that this solution can solve this problem, but will other people understand it that way? You also ask, do they really need this solution? Like, I know it's doing wonders in my life, but is this something they can live without? Another question that will help you in testing your solution is finding out if people accept it. Like, do they feel the same way about the product as you do? And this has to do with their orientation, the social background, the economic background. Like, you have to consider all these things. That's where all this micro and macro environment analysis comes in. Like, you need to go out and meet potential customers and ask them all these questions, because I know I went through that phase. When you tell someone, oh, I'm a management consultant, I develop strategies, I know the solution I bring to a business and I know the impact I make, but they don't get it. And it's your duty to find out the best way to make people understand it. Like, simplify it. You need to make it easy for them to understand, this is what this does, this is what I need it for, and I think I can live with that. After you test your solution and find out that people really need it, they understand it, and they accept it, the next thing for you to do is to check what's in it for you. And the way to do that is to find out the viability of your solution. How much will it cost you? How much can you sell it? How many can you sell? Is it a seasonal product? Is it something you have to sell only 3 months in a year, or is it something that you keep selling every single day? What are all the possible ways you can win or lose by bringing the solution to the market? That's what the stage is all about. Because at the end of the day, we start a business because we want to make money. Like, no matter, even if you want to save the world, at the end of the day, you have to make some money to sustain that salvation. The next stage after that is production. I mean, you found out what it will cost you to produce. The it will make sense for you to now start producing if you think it's viable enough for you. Even if your solution is not a physical product, you still need to set up a structure to push it into the market. It could be by finding an office place, hiring a staff, creating content, basically setting up a channel where you interact with your customers. When your product is ready, the next step is to start selling, but on a small scale. I say do it on a small scale so you'll be able to manage the risk. Here you give it to your family and your friends, your close relations, a few strangers, so that you get their opinions. In as much as you've tested your solution and think you know what people want, it's still very important to introduce your product to the market small, so you will actually see the result in real time. You hear what people are saying about it, what needs to be improved, so that you can go back and improve it. Because it's very sad and expensive if you produce on a large scale, push it in the market, and find out that people don't like it because of a very small problem. It will be very painful. So that's why it's good to just do it on a small scale so that you won't have a lot to lose. You get the feedback and make the necessary adjustments. After you've successfully tested the market and made the necessary changes, the next thing to do is now produce on a larger scale. You start doing your marketing, start advertising, start talking to random people, like just start broadcasting it so that everybody will see what you have to offer. Another thing most people don't do in their business that is really important is review and evaluation. I see a lot of business owners that once they develop that their product or their service, like it's a wrap, they never go back to make changes or improve it. That they just keep selling the same thing over and over again. It's very important as a business owner to keep improving on your product, keep adding more values, listen to what your customers are requesting and give it to them. It's not smart to sell the same thing over and over and over again. Like, people change, you have to change with them. I'm not saying keep changing your businesses, but in a particular industry, in a particular business you're doing, there's always growth and changes and improvement. For example, I can remember what we're doing when I started this company. It's totally different from what we're doing now because we are listening to people, we are finding better ways to serve people, like just giving them what they want. And that's what you should be doing in your own business or when you develop your own business. Don't stay the same. You have to change with people, change with time, improve, add more value. That's the only way you can sustain your legacy. So if you have a business idea and you're thinking of what to do with it or how to turn it into a product or a service, watch this video, take notes and follow these steps. I promise you it will get you to a point where you can say, okay, I have something to sell. That's all we have for you in this video. I hope you found it really useful. If you like this video and want to see more of it, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and you get updates whenever we upload our weekly videos. But first, you have to turn on your notification. You can also subscribe to our newsletter. Link is in the description box below and you get notified whenever we upload our weekly videos. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay updated with all our activities. Remember, the link is in the description box below. If you found this video useful, like and share with your friends. You never know who you might be helping. I love you so much for watching. See you in our next video.